we've had lots of things go on. The snow disappeared, there is glitching with the snow, but it has gone tonight. Coming back into the session, snow was everywhere, and then I literally went in the menu, came out again, and the snow had gone, so it was a real weird game glitch. Just been saying, I was trying to use a telehandler, but I've got to be honest, the furrows on the field are defeating, and I thought, well, it's not meant for that kind of, it would have road tyres on. So although the Merlot is fantastic, it really is a telehandler. I did find it a little bit unusual hand time. This is a feature, obviously the Giants have brought in on FS25, but I have got to give them the due. I would imagine this is very realistic. I don't think those tyres would be able to cope with the soil. You need sort of things like this and proper tractor tyres that are built to sort of do that type of thing. So we are short on tractors. It might not seem like we are, but even with the Massey to replace, like, this is sort of, I'm gonna have to like use this for jobs that you really wouldn't use this kind of job, this tractor for. And I'm glad I bought that the 230 horsepower as well, because I do think it's weird. The lack of a 3-point link on the front of a tractor is a serious deficiency. It really is. I know this is not meant for this, and we're going to have to like bring it into, but we still really could probably field another 2 or 3 tractors. So we're a little bit light, which means we're sort of going to have to like fill in a lot. But this, what we did this session was fed the animals, the snow disappeared, and obviously we've only got the month of April to plant the vegetables, so we've got, I'll show you what we've actually done this session. It's soon going to be not too bad. I'm not sure what we're going to do with that. It is a small field, but when I say that, it's not it's not much smaller than 154 or 153, so it's, these are huge field. They really are monsters. You could get 2 of those. That's probably that. You can get 2 of those almost in that, and 2 of those almost in that. So these are like 6 of those type fields in these 3 alone, and then you've got this quite large area here. So we're short on tractors, and we're going to like do obviously red beet in that last field, and once we've got these 2, Jackie and Shura, when these 2 have finished this area, then we'll move them both onto here, and that shouldn't take too much longer to do for 2 tractors in one, but it's definitely at least another session. Obviously with the fertilizing, I've started to lime that one. I'll obviously do all of the liming on all of these. These are going to be fully fertilized, which is good. I did the weeding on these as well with the beautiful weeder that we've got. So everything is all weeded on this. This won't need weeding because it's been completely ploughed. Not sure what to do with this. If we're going into thinking about vegetables, I'm just trying to think. I've got the Bionic Dairy. This is the main thing, isn't it? But there's no, it's all, potatoes. What about potatoes? Obviously, we're going to have to go into something else. It was the vegetable thing that I thought, but really, we can't do everything, I suppose, for the bioplastics. We could sort of do, what have we got in April that we could plant that's going to match? There is potatoes, just. But what else is there for the bioplastics? We've done corn already. Cotton's very early, so it really is, I think, potatoes. Sugarcane? I think that's early as well. Ooh, we could do sugarcane. That would be a large field, actually. Right, okay, so that is that one here. I made a mistake when I did it. We all know that seeds are not the type of thing you need. It's the fertilizer and these that you need. So this is going to happen quite a bit. But to be honest, it's not going to be too much of a problem soon. Let's get that going. I'm going to set this going because the normal workers are doing a cracking job. And we can sort of leave them trundling alone. Now, I think we didn't. I know we had a cedar as well. I'm not sure if it was just a cedar. The one that we've already got that's down. Yeah, let's have a look at our. I know we have got a planter. I'm not sure whether it was another one of mine, the other model that was. Yeah, I think it was before I switched it, so it will be. Yeah, it is. We've got another one of these, and that's what I'm saying about being tractors short. I could go and get that, I suppose. Could this cope with the telehandler? Yeah, I'm not sure. I still don't think it can. It's we got the lineman to do with the other one. I think these two, it is true, and that sort of proves it. If we had another tractor, I mean, we're sort of doing this stone picking, and really, there's going to be two of these fields that aren't. But with the scale of this, you need 2 or 3 stone pickers. We had this on the Western Wilds. You really need multiples of everything. It's that kind of farm where it's not good enough just to have. I mean, we are managing with what we are. We can't do any more than that this particular year, so we will crack on as we are for now, but we are definitely going to need more tractors. Definitely normal tractors with front 3-point links. These boxes are helping enormously because we'd be like refilling all the time and all the rest of it, but it's yeah, definitely changing direction, especially now the farm is sort of going big. I mean, yeah, you can just look at the wage bill alone to know that this is going to be, yeah, it is. Even though we've got the 3rd one of these, we leased these 2. Obviously, we've got our one that we've already got. But I thought I'd sort of forgotten, and then I saw it and I thought, oh, I know you've already got one of these yourself. We built a land bridge. Just pop to the bike. Yeah, I did want to put a bridge in, but we don't own the other side. So I've done what I've done on other Let's Plays. Imagine that we've got like a one of those pipes that would go under and join this, which it would. I know we can see it sort of going through there. We can't do anything about that because we can't do that. But just because I couldn't put a bridge on, you can always do this as long as you've got that mod on. And it doesn't look that much unlike what it would actually look like. So we built the land bridge because we tried to do a bridge, but it wouldn't let us do it because we don't own the land on this side. So yeah, that's done, which is not bad. We've used it a lot. So we did the weeding, we're doing the planting, and we'll finish this off next session. Yeah, because it's been a monster. Yeah, there's only so much time I've got. But we can see how busy we've been. Say these two were both full of weeds. Canola. No, it's wheat, isn't it? That's right. Canola and wheat. So we have got quite a lot. It is true with the sugar cane. I think what we're going to do, so that I don't forget, let's just pop over to you. Do is we're going to ask the store to deliver us the sugarcane planter. We haven't got the biggies, have we, at the minute? There was a real beaut in FS22 made by one of the big modders who I can't think who it was at the minute, but yeah, I think we've only got the little ones. It's going to take a while. We haven't got anything, have we? No, there's nothing special. I mean, again, I did consider adding this as well, but I think we're going to have to so we'll lease this, and this is going to take a while to do that. Yeah, and we'll literally... Oh, my life. Oh, we bought it. I didn't mean to do that. Oh well, we bought it now. It is ridiculous. Yeah, I hate it because you'd never use it again. You only use it once. I would never do that on purpose, but we've done it. We've made the mistake and we've done it. So yeah, it's going to take an age to do that, but we're going to do that soon. It's got to be, everything's got to be in this month. So next session we're going to get cracking. I think, to be honest, thinking about this, we're gonna like stop this with this wood, although it's really is very valuable. We're running out of time. It's like that old saying, desperate times call for desperate measures. Even though at 9.3 metres in, so this we've done so many 4,000 litres of stone on this field, or the heart of these fields, and we've not really even been to it. So it's one of those jobs that, again, I think you'd need 2 or 3 of these to actually sort of seriously combat. Probably 3 per field of this size. It's that sort of, it really is. So I think basically we're going to have to like just, it's tough about the stones, the rest of the stones for this year. Hopefully we will get enough and we'll actually buy a couple of these, at least a couple of these really. So let's set this going. Actually better do it down here. Yeah, I'm really doing enough boxes for this alone. So yeah, this absolutely canes seeds. We all know this really is terrible. Like, so we might actually get a yeah, well, this is fairly big actually. I didn't realise how big this was. It's not like the big one though that we had. Let's try to let's get this filled. I think we will order another front box. We'll ask the shop to deliver us one right down here. And I don't know really. Depends on how much solid fertiliser there is, because it does use a lot of sugar cane, the seeds really, so let's just try set this going. We shall see. I would imagine it'd be seeds. Seed. Yeah, that's going to be, I don't know, probably the fertiliser. I would say it's going to be a fairly even sort of thing, so I don't know whether it's going to be an advantage. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Tractors can go across fields, like, because the tyres and their traction and the gearbox are just meant to do this type of thing. So I think we may have to have just run down and keep getting this. So let's set this trouble to, and I really am whistling the hook, because it is getting on now. I mean, this far out, it's going to be one of those things that's going to take. It's a shame about the stones, but it is what it is. That's going to take absolutely forever. So these two are nearly finished, so yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Next session with the biggie, I will get on with, I can't get him, I will get on with the liming, and again, that's so out of character for this kind of tractor, but what can you do, really? So let's just send that stone picker back. There's a lot of leasing going on here, an awful lot. Yeah, we really didn't those fields. I mean, we'll just have a look, but if we look for stones, you're going to see there's like, yeah, it's literally, I mean, we've hardly dinted it. We've been at that for absolutely for ages. It's like a third, a half of it done. It's just not, seriously, I mean, as I say, I think you need an army of them. I mean, it's going to be useful to actually grab the stones in another year, but it'll have to be done next year, and I think we'll have to hit this hard with stone sort of pickers. Over the field, no brakes. So yeah, so definitely more tractors. I'm pleased with what we achieved. We did manage to do that liming, and we did a little bit of liming on that one. It was then that I realised the telehandler just, it can't get up the hills. It's little tyres, they're not really meant for this kind of traction. Like, this is built for this kind of work. With its tracks, it can just cope with almost anything. So we definitely need more tractors. But yeah, I suppose all that remains to be said is I hope you enjoy the rest of the session. Right, before we start, yeah, I just thought I would actually say that it really isn't JMGaming's fault at all. This is actually a Giant's fault, because I've been on another map, Rettenbach, and that has exactly the same things. And me pulling my hair out about the manure, Giants have broke manure again. It's nothing to do with my mod. I literally went on that. It worked. It did what it used to do right back in the beginning. If you stick a new mod down and you went through a month, it will work for that session. If you come back in, it will stop working. And we saw this at the very beginning of the game. Well, Giants have broken it again. So it's now, luckily for me, I actually, because I got sick to death of this in FS22, it works, it doesn't work, it works, it doesn't work. It's a farming game and you need to farm. Yeah, so the bottom line is we're in April. The snow is here to stay. It probably won't clear till about June if it goes. It is a glitch, but this glitch is not down to JMGaming. Now, the first time there was a certain element that was wrong, and he did fix that, and we know it actually went away, and we did it. But this time, this is literally down to Giant Software breaking the game again. So yeah, we're in self-sufficiency. I have allowed for this because I got sick of it in FS22. So we've got slurry from manure, and we've got digestate from slurry. I've done this every which way that I can. I've got manure from slurry and manure from straw, and I did originally change this so it grew, because the bottom line is, obviously, we know we shouldn't have this. I've got it back down to normal. It's 1,000 slurry for 1,000 straw. With this being a game glitch, I don't mind allowing the buying of the straw side, because you've got to sort of stretch the slurry, because we want slurry as well. It is ridiculous. But being as manure is broken, yeah, on Rettenbach, if you went up to the same enclosure, we've got the same enclosure on. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh. We now have the snow has gone. And like in the blink of an eye. We saw this earlier, but then it came back again. Well, I'm going to take the win. I am. Let's just take it while we can. But it is obviously not right. So then, we need to be setting people going. Oh, it's not quite done. Yeah, well, you couldn't see anything, so I've got to be honest. Now then, the one good thing is I've got all of my mods in, so that means we can stick the bridge down. I'm hoping that we can do that. This is ridiculous. But now that will be a JMGaming fault. Yeah, it's a little bit like that on Reserve Forest. There's a certain bit where it won't let you dump. It sort of says it's not your land, although if you look on the map it is your land, but it says it's not your land. So yeah, it's one of those sort of situations. We're going to set this going. Yeah, we'll just set a normal worker going, to be honest, and we're going to grab the biggie, and we're going to like stick a bridge down, not quite level with the road. Yeah, I don't want it to be like. We're going to stick that down, and then we're going to like finish off the field, the bits we couldn't see because it was all under snow. Yeah, so it's almost like Giants have fixed this again then in today, or it's just random. And I did say this, I was on Rettenbach, and I said sometimes when you're inside the game and like you go through the months, it won't fix it, but if you come back in and there's a game glitch, the bug might work its way out. We've seen that on this, so it really is like that. So I can't remember. I think it's the factory. I think it's in tools or something like that. Sure, the bridges were in the tools section. Oh, they've been decoration then, won't they? This one. Yeah, I'd have thought others. Well, it seems to me to be the thing that you would actually have bridges in. To me personally. Aha, and it's true. Wooden bridge, no guardrail long. We don't need to be very big, do we? Oh. Oh, that's not very. I suppose it's the other side of the. But this is always a problem with this type of thing, isn't it? It really is never going to be really. The other side of the road is never going to be owned by you. There was one pack that allowed for this. Oh my life. It's like not letting you do it. Right, okay. Well, in that case, we're going to have to be clever. We're going to have to do something that I have done a few times, and we're going to have to use a bit of imagination, because it should allow you to do this, sort of. Now, we want to be sort of down roughly where the bike is. Imagine, as you can do, we've stuck those concrete pipes in, which is frequently done in Great Britain. So we're going to do the same thing, which means we're sort of going to level, but what we would really do is we would be putting a pipe in this. Yeah, and it does sort of let you do it. It's a bit naughty, really. That's because I've got that mod on that lets you go on anybody's land. So we'll do this, and we've made a land bridge, and we're going to put grass down on it and try and sort of shape it so that it is sort of looking a little bit like a proper bridge, sort of. We're going to put some, we'll put proper. I like the concrete. I don't think it doesn't do this very well. I did try this. Let's try standard concrete, small, and we'll do 2. Oh my life, no, that is just as terrible. Oh my life, that is awful. Yeah, oh yeah, that's terrible. That is absolutely vile. And I can't draw there. It's this refraction malarkey. I say this frequently. Yeah, you draw straight, but it doesn't draw straight. It's a little bit odd. Yeah, I'm well out from the angle I'm looking at, or we are all looking at. We can quite plainly see that this is nowhere near drawing where I am actually drawing on this. So this is down to this is a Giants thing. I'm not going to blame JMGaming for this. Well, I'm not blaming him for anything really. Yeah, we'll do that down there. Oh, wow, that's just terrible. Right, let's stick a bit of grass. Just sort of finishing around the edges. Forest rock. Do we do something as if it was a natural formation? I'll make it look a bit like it's always been like that down the edges. Oh my life, it really isn't. Yeah, it's Gordon Bennett. Right, let's put a bit of grass here and hope that the refraction malark is going to go away. Yeah, it's the wall that is really bad. It's bleeding the grass into other areas. Let's try and do a bit of grass down the middle. Oh my life, that's the littlest size. Why is it doing it so big? Do you know, seriously. Oh yeah, as I was saying to JMGaming earlier, I said, well, I've seen it for myself now on another map. It's absolutely nothing to do. You were right. It really isn't your map. It really is look at the bleed on that. How can I do little? That's crazy. I've got to be honest, having played on FS25 quite a lot now, it really is ruining the game for myself, because it's sort of it's just going to bleed everywhere. Look at that, it should be just in one little place. It's going everywhere. You sort of have to lean it a certain way for it not to do the other side. So if we know that, if we'd do it, yeah, we're going to have to sort of cheat a bit. It's ridiculous. Right, that's sort of about as good as it's going to get, I think. Let's do some plants. Do a bit of. Oh, this is could be just as bad. No, this is going where you actually put it. Actually, that's not too bad. Yeah, it is. So the painting is completely different to. Scatter a bit of this about. Oh, a bit of grass growing through the man-made concrete. Right, so that's about as good as it gets. It's not too terrible. Let's just finish this bit of the bits that we missed because we couldn't see that we were what it was like. quite pleased. It's a monster of a field, though. It really is. I've got to be honest. It's like so much bigger than I actually thought it was. Very good value. Rombos Road was the same. You could have bought fields on that. Fields, go down. Fantastic. Let's just go and see. Make sure. Yeah, I mean, literally, on with this 12 metre, I felt like it was a 3 metre plough and I was playing a normal sized field. It was so terrible. Yeah, that is a board apparently JMGaming said, so he was happy with that and he thanked me for that one. But he obviously said that with this, I think looks to me like it's a pile of 4 tons of stone over there. There is, because we put it there. Yeah, so we can now see the stone that we put here. We need to grab this off, because otherwise the stone people might just like grab it all in one lump. No, that can stay on the edge. No. Let's do this properly. It really is sort of on the field properly. Let's just grab it. It's on the very edge. Yeah, that's smashing. So there's only this bit here. That bit that we missed. So it is true. So coming out of the game and coming back in, even though the snow was prolific, the game must have worked out that it shouldn't have been like that, and it really has shifted it. So, it's just got all them plants like in FS22 that you needed to sow it out. Yeah, it is. Yeah, there were certain plants, certain horrible green shiny plants in FS22. The only way you could do it was to plough and then to seed on top. That was a right weird glitch. So there are a few little bits. But yeah, they really are big fields. I can't believe we're doing very well. Like 494,000 and all of these fields that we bought. So we need really, now that we've actually got this, to be planting vegetables. And we also need to be weeding too. I think I'm going to do the weed. Ooh, this is what I needed to do. Yeah, this bit of smoothing. Softening. I will want to... One of these times I'll shock you all nicely and I'll actually say it right. Yeah, it really is. I thought we'd done this. I think we did. No, that's just natural. There's a bit of like undulations in places. I think we really need to look at quite a big overview like that, just to sort of see where the ruffles are and make it bigger. It's the only thing I'm going to say. I like JMGaming a lot, I do, but it's I think this is what loses him a lot of, because you've always got to do this on his maps. You had to do it on Agra, and I sort of expect it now on a JMGaming map, but I'm going to have to do a bit of this on the fields. But I have got to say, you don't have to do that on any other map maker's maps. And what I'm saying is, as a friend, I don't sort of like judge it badly. But as obviously normal, if I was to like think of other map makers, like no one else does this, and so I think it sort of goes against him with other people's like ideas of like things. Because obviously he's my friend, and you make allowances for friends, but to everyone else, he's just another map maker. Can't see anything terribly bad on this, so I think that's just normal. There's a bit of ruffle in there. I mean, this is not terrible. Rombos had some cracks, literally cracks on it. It was one of his, wasn't his first map, Reza. It was, oh, that's the stone. We don't want to get rid of that. We want to grab that. Right, fantastic. So then, done all of the fields. I mean, I've got to be honest, that was a mammoth task in itself. So we really need now to get, are we going to lease them? Because these need to be biggies. We can't have like little 3-metre ones on these fields. This is definitely completely different. We could, I suppose, what we could do is, I mean, I've got my own 6-metre actually. It doesn't look too terrible. Right, Lou has a full tank. Okay, then we will obviously lose tank so that she can carry on. Right, Luke. Imagine you can, like, we're going to get a lot of stone off this, which means we can make manner of things. I think I'm going to go to a time lapse because this is going to be a bit of a, it is still going to be a bit of a monster, but yeah, we're going to like lease I think we might lease a couple of mine, 6 meters, that also do, I think it's almost as cheap to buy, get mine. I'm not going to buy them, but I think it is almost as cheap to lease mine as it would be to buy the 6 meter planters that you get on. So let's go down the shop. Yeah, and then I need to, let's just drop this here for a minute. We'll grab 2 of them, one on the front, one on the back, because this has got the capability to do that. We will be good. We will be good. That was definitely a start. Definitely a start. Right, let's see indicator. Let's be good. I do like the indicators on this map. It's beautiful. Right, so that's very. Let's lease a couple of those. And they are planters. They have got enhanced storage, but how about those? These don't do vegetables. That's why I say mine's special. Yeah, it is. It's only mine that actually does it that we've got so far. Yeah, that's a seeder and a planter. Yeah, no, that's the first one that I've seen that's sort of like almost like mine, but like mine's a little bit even more special. So, right, okay, let's lease a couple of these. How much are the vegetable planters that they are? I think they're very expensive, if I remember rightly. That's why I usually go for the 3 meters, because you could buy 4 3 meters for the price of like it's 4 times the amount. It's 12. Yeah, you can buy 4 of those for 1.6. Just seems like terrible. Yeah, mine's enlisted in that as well. So to me, I'm only paying marginally more, and that can do everything in the game bar potatoes and like poplars. So to me, it's a no-brainer. Right, so then, anyway, let's just get on with this. I'm going to say my words though, because it is true, we really need to. I'm still not sure whether 2's enough. These are real monster fields. But I am going to also split the field. We're going to like, you can't really make that one up, can you? I was going to say one of the core contractors in, and we're going to put concrete down in the middle, but no, we're going to split the field. It is a game we all understand what's cracking off. So, right, let's get. Ooh, I didn't realise I did that. I've never seen it do that before. I suppose, yeah, it does sort of make a bit of sense. Yeah, that's definitely a start. We'll let you have that. Right, I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys again on the other side. to be free. This is really painful with this. It is strange. Obviously, you always think in FS22 you could use a telehandler like this really to do anything, but to be honest, the furrows sort of show you that if you were using this kind of thing, its tyres are not capable of the traction it's needed, and its gear ratio isn't right for this kind of work. We need more tractors. We do. It's sort of, it really is that simple. I thought, oh, I've got a spare tractor. I could always use this. I mean, I know we have got the... This is what I always said was the limitation with these biggies. It's the fact that although it's fantastic, it's only got 3-point link. Although it's still going to have better traction, I suppose, than what we've got. It's going to like belt up those fields much better. So I think we'll just use this. We still are short, but I think we still need it. With this being, I was thinking to do the harvest. I'm thinking, oh yeah, great, I've got that. But I'm like, these are huge fields. I mean, monstrous fields. These are like, I think they're bigger than Rambos. So really, we're going to need monstrous teams. Not only, I think the 2 harvesters that we were given by JMGaming are really probably fairly accurate. I don't think you could. That also means that the vegetable harvester, likewise, I think we'd have to lease another one. And if we got another one in the sales, I think we should buy it. Oh, actually, we have got 2, haven't we? Yeah, no, I've been silly. We've got ours as well. Yeah, no, yeah, we have. We've sort of got 2, really. Right. I am, yeah, literally, this is going to be the end of this session. This is not one of those things you can do in one go. So I'm literally, and I'm just going to do this as a normal goodbye, because to be honest, all we've done is like the fields. So I suppose it's true. I ought to like stick to consistency. You can't keep mucking people around if you're going to do it that way. Now, there are some linear ones that are like the beginning, the first bit of a let's play, that type of thing, but like the rest of it really ought to, for consistency, so you all know where you are, like with me, and like it's only fair that we sort of stick to the same format. So with that in mind, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey, and I'm going to say goodbye for now.